Hey everyone. Who do we have in here? We have Sunshine, Pollyanna, Dukes, Butterfly, Sweet Pea, Moving Forward, TT. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. We're going to do, I put the question in the title. Rather than, these readings are totally different. Hold on one second. I got Mr. Hart coming in the door.
Tank.
Well, he's trying to, but Tank's not cooperating. Hi, Simply Shandia. Do you want added to the list? You're very welcome, Butterfly. You're very welcome. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. We're trying to get Tank in the house. Oops. I was talking to you and you didn't hear me. We're trying to get Tank in the house. Give me 1 second. Hey, lovely. Yeah, I'll add you. Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to get him to fuck in.
I know. Hurry up. Oh, jeez, Mr. Hart. I was muted. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Mr. Hart's in trouble. He just said a naughty word on my channel. Oh, my word. Give me a second here. Trying to get the big boy in. It's raining here and he's out in the wet and the mud. He is in. Mr. Hart's in trouble for that. He's going to get me in trouble. He's going to get me in trouble. That's not nice. This is not the right channel for that word. Let's see. Who do I have on the list? While I'm waiting on him to come in. Yeah, I should be, as long as he doesn't use that word again. All right. I have Sunshine, Pollyanna, Dukes, Butterfly, Sweet Pea, Moving Forward, Shandia, and Lovely. Have I missed anybody? Have I missed anybody? Okay. There's Pamela. We have Pamela. Do you want added, Pamela? Thank you, Butterfly. I don't like that, using that those birds on this channel. Because I am monetized in. Okay, I got you, Pamela. I got you. I'm going to explain this reading here as soon as I can get him inside the house. He must be chasing him. He must have to chase him. He even put food out for him. And the food didn't work. All right. So, how this is going to work. Oh, here we go. Okay, now we're back. Tank is in now inside, and we're all good.
He likes to play in the snow.
All right. So, what I'm going to do, this is a different type of reading than a tarot reading. This is actually not a tarot reading, it's more of an oracle card reading. But this is concerning past lives. Love you too, TT. Hey, Kim. Do you want added to the list, Kim? So what I'm going to do, I've already placed the question. You sure can, Kim. I gave you your timestamp for yesterday. I gave you your timestamp for yesterday, Kim. So this is how I'm going to be doing the past life readings. We're not going to look at what you were in the past life. You're very welcome, Kim. We're not looking at what you were in the past life. What we're going to address in these readings for everybody. Everybody's reading is going to be based on the same thing. What is the lesson you're working on from a past life? So we're going to look at what lesson are you working on from a past life? Hey, go-getter, do you want added to the list? And I'm going to pull 3 cards. One's going to be past, present, and future. Go-getter, do you want added? Okay, gotcha. So these readings are new to me. I've not done these readings. I've done 2 readings on myself with this deck of cards, too. So this is new. I don't know if I'm going to do this every week, but this is the first time we're going to give this a try. So for everybody in here that's on the list, what we're going to do is pull cards and see what lesson you're working on from a past life. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the first one is Sunshine. Are you here, Sunshine? All right. So what lesson is Sunshine learning from a past life? I know when I did a reading for myself, I was a little surprised at how it came out. So let's see what we get here. So I want to do past, present, and future. What lesson is Sunshine learning from a past life? And I'm going to let Spirit direct me to the cards. All right, we're going to do this for the past. We need one for the present and one for the future. Present. And future. So, for the past, karmic relationships. So, there's something about karmic relationships from the past that you're working on. Let's see what the other two cards are. Present and future. All right. Let's see what I can pick up on this. Like I said, these are new cards to me, so I'm going to try to read them intuitively without using the book. So there's a lesson from a karmic relationship in the past. In other words, in a past life. Where presently there's some form of imprisonment or slavery. Now, this could be job related. This could be job related because a lot of people feel like they're imprisoned or they're stuck in a job, or they feel like they're a slave to their job. So, Sunshine, in your case, I feel like there's some sort of relationship from the past that has come forward. The lesson that you're learning, the lesson that you're trying to learn from the past life, I believe, is how to get out of this imprisonment. But I feel like you've brought forth, or what's come forth from the past is some sort of karmic relationship. So whether this imprisonment or slavery is in the form of a job, or perhaps in the form of some sort of a relationship that you have with someone, family or friend. And this, I feel like it's a person here that you may have been in some sort of relationship in a past life. But in the present, it's feeling more like it's imprisonment. So it could be, like I said, it could be job related. Or it could deal with family as well. And for the future, to get out of this, the way to work your way out of this is through communal living. So I'm not one that likes to use the book, but that's when they talk about communal living. My idea of communal living may be different from theirs. Let's see. Communal living. What about the future? It's about finding the balance and harmony between individual and group needs, between give and take. Understand how you fit into the culture. So this is about you understanding how you fit into the culture from the past. So one or more people from your current life. Here, one or more people from your current life you may have known them in the past. And so these people from your past have followed you into the present. and are following you into the future. The imprisonment or the slavery. This could be also about feeling claustrophobic. Think about it. If you're in prison, if you were in jail, you'd be in that small cell. And if you're claustrophobic, that can be a problem. So it sounds like you've got some others from your past lives are following you through, even into your current life, all the way up into the future, learning how to live with them because there's some sort of karmic relationship taking place here in the past. So I feel like they were destined to follow you through. The lesson to learn here is how to learn to live with these people in the future and not feel claustrophobic, not feel like you're imprisoned by them. That's interesting. I wasn't sure how these cards were going to come out. Like I said, these cards are new. And I've only done, this is only my third reading with them. So the first two readings was on myself. And I kind of like the way that I remember the first cards I pulled for myself. So I wasn't sure how they would come out for you guys. All right. Pollyanna, you're up next. Let's see if I get the Celtic card for you. They certainly are different, that's for sure. So the lesson, what lessons does Pollyanna have to learn? What lesson are you learning from past life? You're very welcome, Sunshine. You're very welcome. Remember, guys, I'll be back for questions on Thursday. All right, let's see what Pollyanna gets here. So, what lesson are you working on from a past life? What lesson is Pollyanna working on from a past life? Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, please, and thank you. What lesson is Pollyanna learning from the past life? All right, I'm just going to turn them all over. Pollyanna. Oh, look at that. Atlantis. Oh, Pollyanna. Phobias. Oh, look, we've got here Atlantis. We've got Atlantis in your past life. Atlantis, that is. In a past life, did you live on Atlantis? So you might have some Kim didn't make you yell. So here, Atlantis, this is about you having memories. This is about having memories of that place called Atlantis. You might unconsciously remember places like Atlantis that contains utopia. Phobias. Well, how does the phobias? So you're longing for a place that we no longer know of. We know of it. We've heard of. We've all heard of Atlantis, but it no longer is here. So the phobias here in your current life, these are here to help you connect the dots and to these are here to help you figure out or connect the dots as to why you have these phobias that you're carrying over from the past. Yeah, the little dolphins, look there. Do you have a fear of water, Pollyanna? Are you like me and can't swim? Now, these fears or these phobias. Oh, you love water? Okay. That's probably why you're getting Atlantis here, because you love water. You would love water. You're a Scorpio. You're a water sign. Why wouldn't you like water? So, trying to connect the dots between your fears from this utopia, the place that you see as utopia. Because Atlantis at one point did exist. And what I'm being told here is at one point you resided at Atlantis. One of your past lives, at least one of your past lives, has resided in Atlantis. But something about that, something coming from Atlantis, has created some sort of fear or some sort of phobia here in your current life. Look at the peaceful doves here in the future for forgiveness. So we're looking at what lesson. The question is, let me get my little notepad here. The lesson you're working on from a past life. So what you're inquiring about will be healed or improved through your willingness to release old. So this is telling you to release old stored anger that you have. It may be something that you're not even aware of. And your anger could show up in subtle ways, such as high blood pressure, insomnia, moodiness. I don't know that I've seen Pollyanna moody. Could be Oh, Pollyanna. Anxiety? Headaches? It could be those. So, this anxiety and these headaches could be something that you are needing to learn to get through. They could be related to one of your past lives where you actually resided on Atlantis. This is really interesting. So it could be the fears and the phobias that's feeding into the anxiety. This feeds into the headaches. Yes, the cards do. So I feel like you're trying to, there's something though here, something from Atlantis that I'm not picking up on. The lesson, something possibly happened when you were on Atlantis, when you lived in Atlantis, that created a fear currently. And that fear is leading to the fear and the phobia is leading to the anger, the anxiety, which is leading into the anxiety and all the other things that you deal with. This is interesting how this is coming out. That could not have been more appropriate for you. These cards know you well. I mean, this is a different type of reading, so. But we know Atlantis at one point did exist, so you do have some roots there in Atlantis. That's interesting in itself. Oh, good question, Dukes. I don't know. Where is Brenda? I don't know. I haven't seen her. So at some point you did live. You might want to check that out in your ancestry there, Pollyanna. I mean, how would you trace family back to Atlantis, though? I don't know. Is it even possible to trace ancestry back to Atlantis? Oh, that's a good question. Is it even possible to trace your ancestry back to Atlantis? My fingers are frozen. It's cold here. It is worth checking out, Pollyanna. It is worth checking out. All right, Dukes, what lesson are you working on from a past life? So, yeah, ask Chat GPT. Oh, it's so cold here. My nose is running. My fingers are cold. Kim, is it cold down there? Are you guys cold down there where you're at? We got rain bordering on snow. Okay, it's not just us then. Yeah, we got rain here bordering on snow. We're under a freeze.
Rain, sleet, and a few fat snowflakes.
We're on a freeze watch here. I'm not complaining, but occasional warm day, I don't mind. All right. All right, this is for Dukes. What lesson are you learning? Let's see. Yeah. We're on a freeze warning, so it's probably coming from us, Kim. All right. What lesson are you working on from a past life? This is for Dukes. You're welcome, Pollyanna. You're very welcome. All right. These three seem to want to come out, so let's take these. All right, let's see what we get here. Scribe or writer? Oh, there's that card again. And there's that one again. Now, you guys see me shuffle these. You seen me shuffle these. Scribe or writer? Oh, in a past life, I wonder. You may have, in a past life, it looks like you were. Hey, Brenda. There you are. You want added to the list, Brenda? You're mad you didn't get the writer card, Pollyanna. You got an awesome card. You got the Atlantis card. Okay, I got you, Brenda. All right. So, Dukes, it looks like in a past lifetime you may have had a career in as some type of a writer or scriber. You have the natural thinking style of someone who can organize thoughts into written words. But somehow I feel like that's coming through here. Perhaps back then it was okay doing it back then. Perhaps you feel this card could be telling you also maybe you need to pursue this now. You may need to pursue writing now. And perhaps something's holding you back. Train going through, sorry guys. Perhaps something's holding you back from doing writing. Oh no, you're in a lot of pain, Brenda. I'm sorry to hear that. So I feel like in a past life you were maybe some sort of a writer or you did a lot of writing of some type. Your anxiety right here, Dukes. The anxiety is what's stopping you. The anxiety has you stopped. It's making you feel imprisoned. So this is what you're working on. You need to working on the anxiety. There's ways to work through anxiety. There's meditation. There's grounding yourself. And I know it's difficult, but even if you just write a few sentences a day, you could even, if you have a smartphone, you can put them in your notes in your smartphone. But I feel like this is saying that the lesson here is that bringing forth what you've done in the past, in a past life, and that was writing here. You want to do that. That's something that you want to do. But right now, you don't feel like you can. And anxiety is taking over. and stopping you from doing that. And the lesson that you need to learn is how to take control of that anxiety and put pen to paper or put words, put text in notes on a phone or a tablet. Even if you can maybe put it into a voice message to yourself. There's ways around it. I wouldn't let anxiety, I would do your best. Yeah, get a journal. Something is keeping you here, imprisoned. You're imprisoned in this anxiety. And you need to overcome the anxiety. You didn't have the anxiety back here. So there's something you need to do. The lesson to learn here is overcoming that anxiety and writing things down. Ah. I mean, even if you just take 5 minutes to yourself and write something down. I know I was told many times that I should write a book, and I've found every excuse in the world not to. So I can relate to that. I've done that before myself. I found every excuse in the book. So the lesson from this reading, the lesson that you're trying to learn from the past life is how to get back to doing this. Hey, Irish Jessie, do you want added to the list? So the lesson for you Dukes is how to, okay, I'll add you. The lesson that you're learning from this, that you're learning from the past, is how to overcome. That sounds interesting. Dukes, that would be interesting. Hey, Staff Grabber. Haven't seen you in a while. How's things going? You want a reading, Staff Grabber? I'm doing past life readings. So, Dukes, I would grab a journal and just start writing. Say 5 minutes out. Okay, I got you. I would take some time out. That's the lesson you're learning, is how to overcome the fear and the anxiety and get back to doing what you did in a past life. All right, who is up next? Butterfly. Are you here, Butterfly? All righty. This deck doesn't have very many cards in it, so the odds of getting the same cards is probably better than some decks. Oh, my word. All right. Lesson that you need to learn moving from a past. Let me read the question here again. Lesson you're working on from a past life. All right. What's the lesson you're working on from a past life?
It's going to freeze over tonight.
And we're going to do past, present, and future.
Have icy roads in the morning.
Past.
Your best bet is to get it and get out of here before it freezes.
Present. And I may change these readings up. I don't know.
That means you're going to wind up even slipping and sliding even worse.
I may find a different way to do these. I don't know. These are just something new, and I figured we'll give it a try. All right. Oh. What do we got here? Oh.
Plus, I've got 15 rodeo bulls.
Oh, wow. Look at this. So, vows from the past life. What do we have for vows?
Well, inside's pretty much over. I've only got a couple of pens left. In fact, my horses are outside for emergency.
Hang on. Sorry, I had to look over at him. He's getting a little loud on his phone call over there. So, the vows you've taken in a past life may be blocking you currently. They may be blocking you currently. And I feel like you have some Native American roots here. So, vows that you've taken in the past may be blocking you currently. Where does the Native American fit in the knighthood? So, you may have some Native American. I'm only using this term because it's on the card. Otherwise, I would be saying indigenous. How is that? I don't know how something from the vows from the past would block you. Oh, this is difficult. Guys, you're going to have to excuse me on this because this is a learning curve for me here. So, vows from the past. They could be blocking you in some way. I don't know if you have Native American in you, or there may have been vows that you may have made. You may have made some vows to somebody in the past life. We're trying to figure out the lesson you're learning here. This is not as easy as it seems. Knighthood. What does it mean to be a knight? And you don't have, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, you could be a knight. Within yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you were knighted, so to speak. But knighthood in itself, within yourself, in your heart and in your mind. Perhaps you're drawn to defending people in the future. This could be about defending people in the future, this could be about defending indigenous in the future. Perhaps in the past, you made vows. These vows may have been blocked at some point. Some type of vows, not necessarily marriage vows, but we make other vows too. This leads me to believe that in a past life there may have been some sort of connection with Native Americans, and in the future, the lesson you're learning here is to defend the culture, regardless of the past. Regardless of the past. The lesson that you're learning is perhaps back then you weren't as defensive, you weren't defending this culture back then in a past life. Whereas now you're going to defend this culture in the future. So I feel like this may be about defending the Native American culture, the indigenous culture in the future, because perhaps in the past life you didn't do that. And that may be the lesson that you're learning, is to view others, help protect others, and to protect not just Native American cultures, but other cultures as well. But in your case, it's the Native American culture. In other words, this is about eliminating, working, doing your best to defend against bigotry. All right, who's up next? These readings are interesting and difficult. Sweet Pea. The missions to outer space. Are they really making missions in outer space? Are they really doing that? You know, I question that. Oh. Hang on, guys. My chat's not working. Because I have my up close chat and I can't see it. It's not working. It's being obstinate here. Give me 1 second. All right. Come on. I got a train idling out here. That's not helping me any. All right. You're very welcome, Butterfly. You're very welcome. See, I missed all of your comments. Oh, wow. Let's see. Where am I at? Let me catch up on comments real quick. Oh, Staff Grabber. It's nice and cold here. You're very welcome, Butterfly. You're very welcome. Let's see. You questioned everything they do, Brenda? Oh, yeah, I do too. We were talking about space. That's right. All right. I remember now. We were talking about outer space. Yeah, I question everything. I'll put it this way, so hopefully YouTube won't yell at me too bad. I question everything Uncle Sugar does. There we go. That's the nice way of putting it. All right. What is the lesson that Sweet Pea is working on from a past life? What lesson is Sweet Pea working on from a past life? All right, let's see what we get here. Oh, spirituality and religion. Oh, Sweet Pea, angels. Oh, look at this. All right, from a past life perspective. Spirituality and religion. So, there is a difference between spirituality and religion. There is a difference. So, in a past life, perhaps this is about your experiences when it comes to spirituality and religion. And over time, as we grow, it's actually common to entertain different religions, different spiritual paths, so to speak. And so perhaps the way you believe now may not have been your belief system in a past life. Now, what's the lesson you're learning here? What does angels have to do with this? So, the angel card, this one, this is about your spirit angels, your guardian angels. Your guardian angels are with you. And they've been with you throughout your soul's history. Because when we talk about past lives, we're talking about your soul, not your physical body. Not the physical body. When you look down and you see your body, you see your arms, you see your hands, you see your feet, you see your legs. We're not talking about that body. We're talking about what's inside of you. The soul, the energy, the spirit. And the soul is what crosses from one lifetime into the next. Some people call it reincarnation. So your spirit has reincarnated over time. That's how we have the past lives. So at some point in time here, you were looking at experimenting with different paths, with different belief systems. And this could be in more than one past life. But throughout all of this, your guardian angels have followed you through to this life. Now, let's see what this medicine man or woman is about. So, looking at the medicine man or woman, I feel like there's things that you may have brought with you over the course of time when it revolves around healing and ways to heal, how to help people in different manners, the knowledge of healing, as well as a natural healing gift. And so, what is the lesson that you're learning here? The lesson is that your guardian angels continue to follow you. They've been following you for a very long time. And they're watching you as you continue to learn to help others in a healing manner, whether it be physically healing, helping someone heal, or to emotionally help somebody heal. Because you could be helping people to emotionally heal as well as physically heal. We know raising children, we help our children when they fall and they get hurt. If it's not too bad, we just, as a parent, we take them in the house and we put a bandage on it, a band-aid or what have you, and we help them out. We might clean it up and put a little Neosporin or what have you on it. And that's our way of helping them heal. My chat does not want to keep up with me here. For some reason, I don't know why. So I'm behind in chat here. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Did you want added to the list, Rebecca? Oh, you've been a caregiver for others all your life? Yes, and you're continuing. You're probably learning things as you go along as well. Just know your guardian angels have been following you and watching you and helping you. That's really interesting. So the lesson is coming from the past. The lesson here that you're learning from the past is you've been doing this over multiple lifetimes. You've been helping others. You've been helping others here. You've been doing this over multiple lifetimes. It's not something new to you this lifetime. This is something you've been doing. And your guardian angels are watching over you as you do it. All right, I got you, Rebecca. All right, moving forward. Are you here moving forward? Let me get a drink of this nasty water. I apologize if I'm a little bit. These are new cards. This is all new to me. This is a first. So, all right. What are you doing talking to him?
Yes, I'm talking to him. Because I gotta go outside. He was naughty, so he can't go outside this time.
Oh God.
He's gonna be mad.
Mr. Hart's getting ready to go out, and I'm gonna have to mute for a second. Give me a second, guys, while I get him out the door. He did not successfully make it out the door. Tank made it out before him. All right, moving forward. What lesson? I have to look at my notes because I keep forgetting. The lesson that moving forward is working on from a past life. Tank is faster than him. But he does have the extra legs to help him move faster. Oh man, I got off of here yesterday. I was so hungry. I ate that popcorn. Yes, he is. He is a beautiful doggy. I ate that popcorn then last night. Lord have mercy. I don't know. Hey, Helga. All right. What lesson is moving forward? I gotta read again. What lesson is moving forward working on from a past life? No, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. I'll add you, Helga. He left out of here and I need him to put up. I'll do it. No, I haven't gotten there yet, Kim. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 ahead of you, counting the one I'm doing now. I've got to do it from this account. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. All right. This is for moving forward. What lesson is moving forward working on from a past life? I think the problem I'm having right now is I've been getting hungry more because I'm not drinking the tea. I'm drinking just water, and I'm not getting the sugar from the tea. All right. Moving forward, what lesson are you working on from a past life? What lesson are you working on from a past life? Oh, trees, forgiveness, wisdom. Well, trees, oftentimes we think of wisdom when we think of trees, or I do anyhow. So the trees in the past life position is about you having a connection, a special connection to trees in some way. This is particularly true in the Celtic and Eastern European cultures. Trees were considered sacred. I know, not sure what culture it is. It just popped up on my game here. month or two back, I believe, where, aw, thank you, Brenda, for the little flower. Thank you so much for that. The date tree in that dumb game that I play. But they honored the date tree for a month. I don't know. It's a specific culture over on the other side of the globe from me. Druids look to oak trees for prophetic information. Ancient healers use tree ingredients, things such as willow bark. And remember, we get maple syrup from trees. So there is some sort of special connection to trees in your past life. It may be a spiritual connection of some sort. So the forgiveness card being in the present position, there seems to be maybe some stored anger from, and you don't know where it's coming from, or you may not even be aware. Oh no, Brenda, you're getting them storms too? So the forgiveness card, this is about possibly having perhaps some sort of anger that you're not sure where it's coming from. And this could be something that's held over from a past life. You might not even realize it, that's even happening. But the wisdom card in the future, I feel like you're going to gain something if you haven't already gained the knowledge. I feel the lesson that you're learning. So there's something about these trees, perhaps you need forgiveness for when it comes to the trees. You have some type of a special connection. This could be related to the area from where your ancestors are from and where you're actually from in a past life. This could relate to where you're from in a past life. So when we're looking at trees, if trees were very important in the culture, we could be looking at the Celtic region, the European region, the region where the Druids held the trees sacred. And like I said, there's another whole other culture, spiritual culture, that holds date trees as important in life. Oh no, I hope everything's okay, Brenda. And the forgiveness. So the forgiveness is in the present. Perhaps there's something coming over from the culture that you're holding on to. And I don't know what it could be. But it could be something that's creating some sort of anger inside of you that you don't know where it's coming from. And so the lesson that you're learning, the lesson to be learned here from the past life, is the wisdom in identifying perhaps the location and the reason for the anger. So the wisdom card in the future position, is telling me that perhaps you're going to gain some sort of knowledge and wisdom as to what this anger is that's coming forward from a past life. A past life where in a culture that holds trees as sacred, because trees are looked upon as being sacred in many cultures for many different reasons. They're held sacred, not just for the fact that they provide us oxygen. Aw, thank you, Dukes. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you so much for that. We hold trees sacred. We hold some trees are held more sacred for more than just the oxygen they provide us, because they do provide us oxygen, but there's also other things that they're held sacred for. Medicinal purposes is one thought that comes to mind. So there's something held over here, and I'm not sure what it is. Some type of anger, and I feel like in the future you're going to discover what it is. That light bulb's going to come on, the wisdom's going to kick in, and you're going to understand where that anger is coming from. Aw, thank you, Dukes, for being a member for 4 months. We love you here too, Dukes. We love you here as well. All right. So the lesson to be learned here, the lesson that you're working on, is where this anger's coming from. That's the lesson that you're working on. And it's going to come to you in the future. All right, Shandia. Are you here, Shandia? Are you here, Shandia? There you are. You're very welcome. Moving forward, you're very welcome. All right. What is the lesson that Shandia is learning from a past life? What are you working on? What lesson are you working on from a past life? All right. Oh, you're getting spiritual and religion vows on Native American. All right. So they're coming out they came out in a different order for you, but we've had these cards before. And I knew this would happen because this deck is not very big. So here, looking at the past life here, you have probably in different lives have experimented or looked at various different cultures, various different spiritual paths, various different religious beliefs. And it could have been more than one time, more than one life that you've done this in the past. Now, what is the lesson to learn here? So this could be about you taking vows to help out other cultures. So this is about, to me, what I'm seeing here is this is about expanding your belief system. This is about expanding your belief system, and it's specifically here in the future focusing on Native American. So this is, I feel like you are taking it upon yourself to expand on your belief systems. And to learn, you're taking an oath, so to speak, to maybe take time to learn about other cultures. And in your particular case, specifically Native American. Perhaps perhaps at some point in time in a past life, you belong to this culture. You were a part of it, perhaps. And that may be the lesson that you're learning. There may be a reason. The reason you may be looking into the Native American culture is perhaps because at one point in time in a past life, you were a part of it. At one point in time in past life, you may have been a part of this culture, and I feel like you are drawn to this culture. And we know that they have different beliefs that don't always go along with others. They have their own spiritual path that they believe in. So I'm feeling that you may have ventured through different spiritual paths, different religions in different past lives. But I feel currently the lesson here that you're learning from the past, you're focused on the Native American culture and their belief systems. That's interesting. Perhaps there's a lesson to be learned here. Perhaps there's some sort of lesson, something that you need to learn from this culture. Interesting. Give me a second here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Tanky didn't want to come in again. You have a good day too, sunshine. All right, Lovely. Are you here, Lovely? You're very welcome, Shandia. You're very welcome. Are you here, Lovely? All right, Lovely. 1111. Are you here? You're here, staff grabber? I'm just going to go ahead and do Lovely 1111, and there you are. If you ever miss your reading for some reason, just want to live chat replay comes up, use the ask button and ask for your name, and it should bring you to your name, a timestamp. All right. I didn't think this through before I came live. I should have eaten before I came live. Oh. All right. What lesson is Lovely working on from a past life or lives? Past life or lives? Because it could be from more than one. Oh. Well, you're going from Atlantis to Native American. That's interesting. So Atlantis, the lost place of Atlantis. Apparently you've spent some time on Atlantis in a past life. It's like a utopia. Atlantis is like a utopia. Love life. In the present. Let's see what we can find out about love life in the present. So the love life, your love life in the present may have been affected by a past life on Atlantis. So a love life from your present. That's interesting. And perhaps now, how does Native American play into it? This is in the future. Perhaps there's someone from this culture that you're going to meet in the future that may have also had a past life in Atlantis. This is interesting. I'm trying to see what I can pick up on here. These readings are not exactly the easiest to pick up on. Atlantis is considered, we consider Atlantis as utopia. So at least somebody in your current life, somebody from your current life, and now doesn't mean your present life, it means your current life. So at any point in time here in the physical world, in the here and now present, you probably spent time with them in Atlantis. So somebody in your current life, you were in a past life with in Atlantis. And at some point, you may encounter somebody from Native American culture that you had also spent time with in Atlantis. What's the lesson here? Is there something from this culture that you need to learn? Possibly. Quite possibly. So, let's see here. Perhaps you're drawn, perhaps somebody in this culture you're drawn to, you may get drawn to. And the way that you go about becoming drawn to this person in the future, maybe through artifacts, maybe through the culture itself, learning about the culture. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps you're part of this culture already. That part I don't know. But somehow in the future, the Native American is going to play a role in the lesson that you're learning. So, what is the lesson here? The lesson that you're learning here is that somewhere through life, your current life, somebody that you spent time with, somebody that you loved, you had spent time with in Atlantis, in Utopia. No, you didn't miss it, Pamela. And perhaps the future, there may be somebody from the future. And you know, sometimes have you ever seen somebody or looked at somebody and thought, I've seen you somewhere before? That could be from a past life. You just don't know it. That's those type of moments where you see somebody, they look familiar to you, but you don't know them. They're total strangers, even though they look like somebody you know. This could be somebody from over here in this past life. So, in your current life, up until this point, somebody that you've been with, or maybe with currently, you've been with in a past life. But in looking towards the future, you may be looking at this culture, maybe looking at artifacts. There may be artifacts. There may be some artifacts from Atlantis you may discover in the Native American culture. Or there may be somebody that you spent in the past life with somebody here in Atlantis in this culture as well. This is all about people. The lesson here is all about people. So this could be, so this is that moment, like I'm saying. You see somebody, they look familiar, but they're actually total strangers to you. You're in a convenience store, you're in a shopping center. I don't want to name any specific big shopping centers, you know, like the one with a great big W at the beginning of the name. You might be in there walking around picking up groceries or picking up other items and shopping, and you see somebody catches your eye, and you think to yourself, I know you from somewhere, but they're total strangers. You don't know them. But truly you do. You just don't realize it from a past life. So keep that in mind when you see somebody and you think, I've seen them somewhere before. But you know in your mind, in today, right now, that person's a total stranger to you. You could go to a different city on a vacation, someplace you've never been, and see somebody and say, they look familiar. But they're a total stranger because you've never been there before. So there's no way that you would know them if they lived there. That's the lesson. The lesson is sometimes you meet people that you are total strangers to you, but you actually know them from a past life. All right, Pamela. Now it's your turn, Pamela. You're very welcome, lovely. You're very welcome. All right, Pamela, you're up. What lesson is Pamela working on from a past life? Oh. Oh, Pamela. Are you here, Pamela? Are you here, Pamela? So you've got the wisdom card as if Pamela shows up, you guys let her know I'm doing her reading now. Oh no. Oh, okay, Brenda. Well, hopefully she'll be able to find the reading when the live chat comes up if she's not able to catch it now. So Pamela, you've got a lot of wisdom that you're carrying forward into this lifetime. However, look here, we have the mother card. So the mother card being in the present, meaning your mother from current. Yes, just past life. Today, Helga is just past life. If you have a question you want answered, you'll have to come back on Thursday for that. Today is it's actually an experimental day because this is the first time I'm using these cards. So for questions, you're going to want to come on Thursday. So Pamela, you're carrying wisdom over, but wisdom isn't the only thing you're carrying over. Your mother from your current life, was also a part of your life in the past. Your mother from your current life was also a part of one of your past lives. Now, the future, how does farm play into this? So, in a past life, you may have, in one of your past lives, I know this is supposed to be future, but the lesson here is when people lived on farms, and people still do, but farms today are more modernized than they were years ago in our past lives. If you think about it, I mean, we have automatic milking machines now. So, looking at, you may have in a past life been on a farm and thought that was a simple life back then. It was a simple life. It's more modernized now. But back then, it was considered a simple life because we didn't have modern technology. We wouldn't have all the stuff that we have nowadays. So we're looking at the past. So not only was your mother, your current mother, in this physical world, your mother was also a part of a past life. Not necessarily your mother in a past life, but your mother was with you in a past life in some capacity. You knew your mother, you knew your current mother in a past life. Perhaps in that past life, it was in regards to farming, when farming was simple, or we thought of farming as being simple. And I feel like the lesson that you're trying to learn here, or the lesson that you're learning here or wanting to learn from the past life, is the lesson to be learned here is number one, your mother was with you in the past. But number two, it's get back to the simple things in life. Getting back to the simple things in life. That's interesting. It's really interesting to find out that one of your parents was with you in a past life, not necessarily as a parent, but somebody that you were connected to in a past life. All right, Kim, are you with me, Kim? Kim in Colorado, are you with me or are you working? Ah, you're here. Awesome. My feet are like ice. Oh, you're driving. Drive careful. Drive careful. Please drive careful. Oh, it is later in the day. I don't know if you listened to your reading from yesterday or not, Kim, but that family member came to me during your reading. All right. This is for Kim. What lesson is Kim learning from a past life? Oh, forgiveness in the past life, Native American in the present. Oh, high priest or priestess. Oh, wow. So, what do we have here? Forgiveness in the past. Well, I think you're the type of person that has truly, if this is the type of person you are today, perhaps you were the same person back then too in another life. So, forgiveness, this is about releasing or healing yourself from stored up anger. It could be something that you're not consciously aware of. It may show up in subtle ways: high blood pressure, insomnia, moodiness. So there may be something that you are holding on to that you don't know about. And I'm truly surprised there's one card I didn't get. Now, I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm surprised that card didn't come up. So it's safe to say that card didn't come up. Thank goodness. But here, this is about something from your past, a past life that you may be holding on to that you don't realize. You're not going to realize it if you're not in tune to past lives. The Native American card coming up here is telling me that in a past life, you were a part of that culture. So that could be part of the anger as well. The way that things happened to the indigenous people. Hang on, tank's trying to turn around in a tiny spot. Thank God. So this could be about you. You may have, perhaps, you may have in a past life, there may be some issues concerning Native Americans that if you were living back, if this was back then, you might be angry about it from back. If it was today, if it was happening today, you would be angry about it. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. So I feel like there's some sort of you may be holding on some subconsciously, you're not aware of it, and it may show up in a form of blood pressure and so on. Now, how does this high priest or priestess play into this? Well, perhaps at some point in time, you were a high priest or a priestess, because now when we're talking about past lives, currently we know we're either male or female. But in a past life, we don't know. We could have been a male or a female. So in a past life, you could have been a high priest or a high priestess. So I feel like you've held on I know you do. You've held on to the gifts that you have. Remember the jewelry box incident? You're always, you come to me and I try to reassure you that that what you see is real. It is real. So what I'm seeing here is a couple of things. So I feel like the forgiveness part related to the Native American culture is that perhaps you didn't agree in a past life with the way things went when it comes to that culture. But then separately here, I think there's two lessons that you're dealing with here. One is the fact that you didn't agree, perhaps in a past life, with the way that the Native American culture was treated. Whereas over here, and see, this is part of Native American culture, is the high priest and priestess, even though they may not call them that, their spiritual beliefs also, they believe in spirit and they believe in gifts. And you have that heightened awareness. You do have it. Because I know you ask me questions that you already know the answer to. You asked me about the jewelry box. Remember? That was that family member. You know it. You have the abilities. Just don't be afraid of them. Just don't be afraid of them. But I feel like the forgiveness part, when it comes to, I feel like back then you didn't agree with the way things went, and the way that it's playing it out currently may be through the high blood pressure or the other medical conditions that we don't understand why we have these things, and perhaps that's why. Because it's our body's way of showing anger, but we don't know why. We just know we have these problems. Hope that makes sense. So I feel like there's two different situations going on here for you. I feel like it's the medical issues is actually your body's anger towards the things that happened in a past life. Whereas over here in the future, what should be the future card, which I'm not sure it's future, the high priestess, the high priest or the high priest is letting you know the lesson that you need to know from a past life is forgive what's happened in the past, because we can't go back and change it. We can only move forward from it and do better. But the other lesson here is don't overlook the things you see. And don't question the things you see, because it is reality. The jewelry box lid being up, that's reality. That's where this high priest or priestess comes in. So this is you're actually getting kind of like a 2-for-1 here, Kim. You actually got a 2-for-1 here. But you are the forgiveness. I know you're forgiving. You're a very forgiving person, but I feel like there's from the past. It's unresolved from the past. And that's where the medical issues are coming in at. I know I'm on that too, but I've had to like cut back on mine because, well, mine's been a little weird, so I need to check mine. I hope that made sense. Go Getter, are you still with me, Go Getter? Alrighty. One of these days I'll do my nails. I'm just giving a break. I'm not going to be like somebody else and just. My nails need a break after 2 years of being painted. I'm just all over the place here. Yes, those hideous things that dear God got hidden again. Ooh. Be on the lookout for the other channel. That's all I got to say. Be on the lookout for the other channel coming live. Oh no, Kim. It's got to be the weather. It's got to be your weather. Hopefully it's not my internet. I don't think it's my internet. All right, go get her. The lesson you are working on. Lesson you're working on from past life. Let's see what you're working on from past life. Ah, so in the past look at this. Oh, all right. So we know from the past life, scribe or writer. So in a past life, you did some type of writing of some sort, whether you may have written letters, you may have written newspapers, because in past lives it would have been newspapers, or you wrote a book perhaps in a past life. And writing, what is writing? The arts. That's part of the arts. So I feel like this is saying that most likely the writing from the past was probably a book of some sort. I feel like it may have been a book of some sort. Uh-oh, Kim. So the arts, this is saying that you have artistic and creative talents that desire expression. You're very welcome, Kim. You're very welcome. The arts card in the current position here is a sign that you would do well in an occupation relating to the arts. And in your case, more specifically, writing. But I feel like what you're being told, the lesson that you're being told, and somebody's here with me. I don't know who it is, but somebody's here with me. More specifically, you're being told to get back to the simple ways of things. So the lesson to learn here, some of these readings come out a little easier than others. This one is really straightforward. At some point, you were a writer of some sort in a past life, and you've carried it forward. And now you have that creativity about you. You need to put it to use. You need to write. You need to write. The arts. Writing is an art. But you're also being told to keep it simple. In its simplest form. Yep. That's true, Kim. You have to. That's holding on to the past is part of the blood pressure problems. Just part of them. But go get her. You have that creativeness. I know, Kim. I know. You have that creativeness about you. And I feel like you have a desire. And the arts that we're talking about here is specifically about writing. So in the past, you've done writing. In a past life, you've done writing. What's the lesson? The lesson is to go ahead and do what you desire. And that's to write. But the other lesson that's a part of this is to keep it simple. As long as I'm mad, I won't forgive. Protection? Yeah. Just remember, as long as you're mad, your blood pressure is going to stay up. Remember that too. Sorry, go getter. I've got to respond to Kim as well as trying to help you out here. But the lesson, I feel like there's two lessons here for you as well, go getter. One lesson is that you have this, perhaps have this creative desire about you, and that creativity, I feel is in writing. But you're also being told here to keep it simple, because farm life back then was simple. It wasn't as complicated as they've made it to be like it is today. Cows are think about today's farms. The cows have numbers, they have ear tags, they have numbers on them. They have automatic milking machines for those that are milkers. So, keeping it simple, not putting a number to it, not adding a milking machine to it. You're very welcome, go getter. You're very welcome. No, don't smack yourself, Kim. Don't smack yourself. All right, Brenda. You're up next, Brenda. Awesome. All right, this is for Brenda. What lesson the lesson that Brenda is working on from a past life? I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. I'm slow because I'm not used to these cards. These are all new to me. Oh, communal living, trees, spirituality and religion, communal living in a past life. This is like being involved in such as if we were looking at we'll take the indigenous culture for a minute, where they lived in tribes. They lived together. They all lived together. That's communal living. So at some point, you, in one lifetime, at least one lifetime, you were involved in some sort of communal living. Well, that's usually pretty common. It depends on how far back this lifetime is. There was a lot of communal living. So living with others in a community where the needs were always met for everyone in the community. Everybody in the community had their own specific duties, so to speak. My list is closed for today. I'm sorry, what a lovely day. I've been on for over 2 hours already, and my list is closed for today. I apologize, but thank you for being here. So this is about the past life. Now, I feel like in the past life, it was in a culture where trees were the thing. Trees were heavily valued in that time. I feel like in this past life, trees were a part of the culture. Perhaps this could have been Celtic culture, Eastern European cultures. I mean, there's other cultures that considered like oak trees for prophetic information. Ancient healers used trees. Some still do. And spirituality and religion, this is all about, to me, this is about you being open-minded and not just setting yourself on, say, one specific religion and sticking with it. To me, this is telling me that the lesson you're learning here, the lesson you're learning is open-mindedness. Open-mindedness about others' religions, other spiritual beliefs, because there's spiritual beliefs and then there's organized religion. And so I feel like you are learning, the lesson you're learning is that some cultures seen trees in a spiritual way, whether it is to help heal, as in the healers from cultures, or prophecy. Some use trees for prophecy. And so I feel like in a past life, you lived in a culture of a community. There was a community you lived in. You were a part of a community that's valued trees. And the lesson that you're bringing from that past life is that your open mindedness about spiritual beliefs and religious beliefs. Sometimes these messages are coming through clear for me, and other times they're not quite as clear. But in your case, this is abundantly clear that this is about being open minded. The lesson is that you're learning over time to be open minded about other people's beliefs. You swear you was a chihuahua? I can't say that. I can't tell you that. How long have chihuahuas been around, though? Think about that. That's just like if you look at the blood types, you have O, A, B, and AB. If you look at the blood types, the newest blood type is AB. It did not always exist. AB did not always exist. It is the youngest blood type. Irish Jessie, are you here, Irish Jessie? You're very welcome, Brenda. You're very welcome. Irish Jessie, are you here? All right, this is going to be for Irish Jessie. I don't know where you're at, Irish Jessie.
Ireland?
Huh?
You said, I don't know where you're at, Irish Jessie, and I said, Ireland?
Well, duh.
Well, you're acting like she's somewhere gone. She couldn't have gone too far.
You don't know her. My friend likes to travel. All right, this is for Irish Jessie. What lesson is Irish Jessie learning from past life? Oh. 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 What do we got here? Oh. 2 cards that we have not seen before. I'll probably not say this word right. Greco-Roman?
Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman? So, in a past life, this is telling me that you had lived in the Greco-Roman area, region. In Greece, you've lived either in Greece or in Rome. And that could be influencing you currently, whether you realize it or not. You might even, I don't know, you might be drawn to the Greek and the Roman architecture, their culture, maybe even their spiritual beliefs. Now, there's a first for that card, biblical. How does that play into it? So, what I'm seeing is not only Greece and Rome, but a past life in biblical times. Wow, that's interesting. Not only a past life in Greece and Rome, which you may be drawn to that culture and you may be drawn to the no, I can't think of it. The architecture, that's the word I'm looking for. And there may be something blocking you from there may be something blocking you from visiting these areas if this is something that you're interested in. The biblical is telling me that you have lived at some point during the biblical times. So that would be a life within the last over 2,000 years. So perhaps if you read, so if you have read something in the Bible that didn't make sense to you, it's because you were living during that time. And you know that the reason it doesn't make sense to you is because it's not true. So I'm seeing, I'm truly seeing two different lifetimes, to be honest. Actually, let me ask Mr. Hart a question. Okay, I had to, inquiring minds had to know, I had to ask Mr. Hart because he's well versed on this subject. So, the biblical times that we're talking about may have taken place in probably Rome, the Rome area, because this would have been right around the time that the Romans were coming upon Christianity and were telling people that were non-believers of Christianity that they had to either convert to Christianity or they would no longer be here. So this is what I'm picking up here is the time when, for lack of a better term, It's called paganism. There really was not a term for what people believed prior to Christianity, prior to organized religion, prior to the Bible. It's basically people that believed in nature, in Mother Nature, in the earth itself. And so it was around that time that the biblical times started taking place. And that's when the fighting ensued in Rome. And so I feel like you were had a life back then. You were seeing the transition from those that believed in spirituality, that believed in nature, so to speak, spiritual beliefs, had spiritual beliefs, versus those that wanted you to change into the biblical belief systems. And there was a block there. This block happened back here. Wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting to have lived a life at the times where I'm calling it Christianity, where Christianity started to become a part of the culture, the Roman culture. And there were all the fights and stuff that were taking place back then over the belief systems. It's all over spiritual beliefs, all over religion. And you were blocked back then. Perhaps you were a spiritual person in this lifetime and didn't want to come over to the biblical side, so to speak. Wow, that's interesting. And the Greek Roman, the can't forget the word. I keep forgetting the word. That may be why the architecture. That might be why you're drawn to the architecture and the culture of the Greek and Romans. There we go. All right, who is up next? Staff Grabber, are you here, Staff Grabber? You still with me, Staff Grabber? There you are. I got Staff Grabber and one other one, Helga, and then you'll be the last one, Helga. So there's two ahead of you. I lost Pollyanna. Where'd you go, Pollyanna? Rebecca, you did make the list. I have Staff Grabber, Rebecca, and Helga. And then I'll be done for today. Hi, Jaleisha. No, I don't think that's chicken frying. All right. Staff Grabber. What lesson are you learning from a past life? I don't know where I lost Pollyanna at. Oh, what do we have here? Give me 1 second. Uh, all right. Sorry about that. My chat froze on me. I had to get my chat back. Come on. There we go. I lost Pollyanna. I don't know where Pollyanna went. All right. So, what do we have here? So, this is telling me in the past, we have your father here. So, your current father, your father, your father, you knew your father in the past life. In some capacity, you knew your father in the past life. Some way, somehow, you and your father were connected in a past life. Phobias. What do we have about phobias here? Phobias and fears, those are energy blocks. This is, you may have phobias. You may have some type of phobias or fears that you don't know how you got. You don't know how they came about. And it could be related to a past life. Now, the knighthood, this is about defending, being a person that likes to defend others. Not today, Jaleisha. My list is closed for today. I'm almost done for today. I'm sorry. I've been on for way over 2 hours, way too long. I apologize, Jaleisha, but not today. The knighthood, this is about defending others. And you don't have to be, knighthood doesn't necessarily represent masculine or feminine. You just have the heart of a knight. Yeah, I'm still here, Dukes. I got 2 more after this one. These are not easy because I've never done them before. So, what the knighthood is telling me that you're drawn to others. You're drawn in situations. You're drawn in situations to defend others. Maybe it's because of the fears and the phobias that you're carrying forward from a past life. But in a past life, your father is somehow playing a role in a past life. So there's 2 messages here, or 2 lessons. One, you knew your father in a past life in some capacity. But this is a past life. This is not current life. So you and your father knew each other in a past life in some capacity. Whether you were related or not, I don't know. But you knew your father in a past life. There's some type of phobias or fears that you have, and they carry over from the past life. And perhaps they feed into the need to defend others in situations. So the lesson you're learning here is perhaps, I'm not sure how the father is really playing a role in this, unless your father, I don't I don't really want to say that your father played into the reason you have these phobias, but there is always that possibility in a past life. I'm not saying that your father was your father in a past life, just that you knew the man that you know now as your father. You knew in a past life in some capacity. And I feel like that played into some of your phobias that you may have now, or some fears that you may have now. And these fears, I believe, are what's driving you into feeling the need to defend others in situations. I hope that makes sense. You're very welcome, Staff Grabber. You're very welcome. All right, Rebecca. Are you here, Rebecca? I have Rebecca and Helga.
The only thing I got open is in the back of the barn. I got the outside. I've got stuff inside, like I said, all the time.
All right. This is for Rebecca. Hopefully you don't hear Big Mouth in the background. Talking on the phone. If you see smoke, don't worry. It's just him burning food. He's not burning it, I don't think. All right, this is for Rebecca. What, Nessie? Oh, that one really wants to come out. I'll take it. What lesson are you working on? What lesson are you working on? Oh, you're claustrophobic? Oh, wow. What lesson is Rebecca working on from a past life? What lesson is Rebecca? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. What lesson is Rebecca learning from? These two want to come out, so we're going to take these. The man doesn't know how to cook without smoking up the house. Oh. Oh, wow, Staff Grabber. All right. Oh. Oh, what do we have here? All right, Rebecca. So, here's what I'm getting. Oh, my word. Let's start with the vowels. These vows, these are blocking you. They're blocking you. The prior lifetime vows are blocking you in your current life. You may have made vows in some way. Examples of vows would be becoming a nun. Okay, staff grabber, you have a good night too. Similar to becoming a nun, you may other examples, a vow of poverty or a vow of self-denial, which could block your flow of abundance. A vow of chastity, which could inhibit your romantic or other life, or a vow of self-punishment. But here's the thing. Your spouse, you knew your spouse in a past life. Your spouse was a part of your life in a past life. I don't know that you were married to this person, but they were a part of your past life. You may have made vows. You may have made vows to your spouse in a past life, holding you to that person. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Did you have a spouse? Have you ever had a spouse? Oh, okay. That's possible. You may meet somebody new. And the vows card, sorry, Tank's wanting to speak to you guys. No, you cannot come up here on it. No. You want to say hello? Huh? You want to say hi to the people? I'm sorry, buddy. You can't say hi to the peoples. Sorry. So the vow card here, this is about a blockage. So that may be why you may have had a spouse. You may have had a spouse in the past. And that may be why you're blocked now. That may be why you're still single. And the baby itself, this is your unconscious mind. Dude, come on. Hey, come pick this up for me, please.
I'm trying to get ready to go out.
Hang on, guys. Tank made a mess. All right, now I'm back. Sorry about that. He made a mess. I've lost my ink pen. Don't know where it went. He's knocking everything over there. Because he's so huge. Anyhow, let me get this finished. I apologize for that, Rebecca, my big dog. Hang on, guys. Sorry, he was showing me the road closures. We got bad weather coming in. All right, the baby. This is about Rebecca. I am so sorry that my dog is interrupting this live. He does that a lot. So, where does the baby come in? Your unconscious mind. I feel like your unconscious mind will reveal the way in which a baby plays a role in your current life. This could be somebody else's baby, not necessarily. This could be about you as a baby in a past life. So this could be about you as a baby in a past life. But the lesson here, I feel like the reason you say you're single, this is talking about a spouse. But I feel like now perhaps this spouse was from a past life that's keeping you blocked because the vows of silence, other type, there's all kinds of vows that we can take, right? And so there may have been some sort of vow that you made with a spouse in a past life. And that may be why you haven't married in this life. It could be a result from a past life and a blockage that you have there. Oh, my word. His phone's going to keep going off because the road's closed and people need a place to stop. All right. I hope that helps you, Rebecca. That may explain why the things are going the way they are. The baby card could represent you as a baby in a past life. You're very welcome, Rebecca. You're very welcome. I do apologize for the interruptions with my dog. But if you know, you know. I live in an RV and I have a dog that's over 200 pounds. All right. Last but not least, Helga. Are you still here with me, Helga? There you are. Oh, it is. And he's not the only one. I have another dog, but he's not. The other dog's not as big as this one. And this one likes to get up in my business. The big dog, he likes to get all up in my business and knock everything over. But I wouldn't trade him for the world because I love him. Tanky boy.
He's 200 pounds and thinks he's 2 pounds.
I know. He thinks he can squeeze in anywhere. He will try to squeeze his big body in anywhere. At least he didn't go up in the windshield and start barking like he did yesterday. Oh, dear. Stop knocking my stuff over, dude. He's like a bull in a china shop. All right, Helga, what lesson are you learning from a past life? What lesson is Helga learning from a past life? You Give me 1 second. All right. Let's see what we get. Oh, trust and faith. Persecution and inquisition. And high priest or priestess. Wow. All right, Helga. Trust and faith in a past life. What is this about? So we're the question being the lesson you're learning from a past life. And the question you're asking today is connected to the levels of trust and faith that you have. There's two qualities affect the amount of fulfillment, peace, and joy that you experience. If you find that you don't trust yourself or others or even life itself, the reason may be rooted in prior lifetimes. And the same goes for faith. Perhaps you were betrayed in a past lifetime. And considering we have the persecution and inquisition card sitting right next to it, it no doubt was some sort of trust was broken in a past life. Severely broken at that. Oh, so in a past life, Helga, perhaps you were accused of witchcraft or other crimes in the past, and you may have even suffered greatly as a result of that. But here's the thing. You have gifts. You have gifts. You may have, so what I'm seeing here, and you may already know or may feel it, that heightened spiritual awareness that you have. And I'm not talking about this lifetime, Helga. I'm talking about past lives. So in a past life, perhaps you were falsely accused of witchcraft. And because you were falsely accused, that may have caused trust issues, deep trust issues that you carry into the present lifetime. But you also have intuition as well. And just because somebody has gifts doesn't mean a bad thing. This was a bad time in history. The persecution and the inquisitions into witchcraft, the Salem witch trials, those were bad times. And that created trust and faith problems back then. And so you may have, one of your lifetimes may have been back then. I'm not taking any more, Felicia. This is my very last one for today. I apologize, Felicia, but I've been on for almost 3 hours now and I'm ready to get off here. I'm starving. So I do apologize, but thank you for being here, Felicia. So, Helga, I feel like, please don't delete comments. Yeah, you've been feeling spirits. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that there was a time when people were persecuted over that. And I believe one of your past lives may have been during that time period. So, what's the lesson to be learned here? What is the lesson you're learning here? You're learning that perhaps over time you can learn to trust, but can we? Because we did have that time period where people were persecuted for having gifts and were accused of things. So, one of your past lives, you may have taken place during those times, during the inquisitions, during the persecutions, because they felt that you had abilities. And this has broken your trust. That's broken your trust. This breaks trust. All right. Well, that is it for today. My food is waiting for me over there. Well, partially, it's not quite done. I want to thank everybody for being here. I don't know if I'll be doing this again or when I will do this again. You're very welcome, Helga. You're very welcome. We'll see in the future. This is not going to be something I do every week. I'm not going to be committing myself to doing this every week. But we'll see. For members, we'll have a members only live tomorrow. And for everybody else, Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central, 2 Mountain, 1 Pacific time. If you have questions, you can come back Thursday and make sure you come in early because my list fills up quickly. I want to thank everybody for being here. I know a couple people sent me the little gifty things. I don't know that this shows me. Dukes, thank you for being a member for 4 months. I greatly appreciate that. And I know some little gifty things came through. Thank you guys for those. I send much love, many blessings to everybody. Stay safe out there. It's a crazy world we live in. If you can, try to be kind. And I'll see members tomorrow, and I'll see everybody else on Thursday. Have a good evening, everybody.